Hello there, it's me, Sari here again, and today I'm here to show you some goodies that I've gotten from Scrapbruket from several different kinds of companies. And well, I thought I'd also show you how I make these sort of upright Z-fold cards with a nice topper like this. So I thought I'd show you how to do that with my electric die cutting machine from Sizzix. It's called Sizzix, I think it was Express or something. But let me just tell you that I haven't been here for quite some time now, and that has to do with several reasons, of course. But here I am showing you some things that I've gotten, and I got them yesterday, but I haven't had the time to play around with all of them. And this one is a metallic accents set of semi-watercolor case. Yesterday I was talking about acrylic paints, but they aren't acrylic, they are watercolor paints, of course. And they have some metallic hues to them, and I'm hoping they'll be really splendid to work with later on, perhaps making or creating some backgrounds and such. And as you can see here, I have gotten the funny monsters from Tim Holtz and the Sizzix. I have even die cut it and out of a paper, put it back, colored it, dry embossed it with that stencil, with that dye, and covered it with some glossy accents just to have myself some fun. And well, it's a really grumpy looking monster, isn't it? So here it is, the same figure. Let's see if I can show them to you properly. Here you can see them. So it's a really fun looking guy, I must say. And then there is another one, a bit more, perhaps a cheerful one. Oh, there, Mars, a margin perhaps. Here is something else. So what I've done with these is that I have die cut them out of a pattern paper with some dots in the background. After that I have done some stamping with a sort of a big background stamp from Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous. And that is why they look so funky in my book. And then I had myself some fun die cutting it out of red cork. And here is just a plain white one. I'm not sure you can see it. There you are. But in order to make them a little bit more sturdy, I actually cut them out once more out of this yellow paper. I just had it lying around, and that makes them sort of a little bit more sturdy. And especially this one out of cork. Cork is sort of a sensitive material. You really need to stir that one up, don't you? So these are sort of die cut pieces now, so they are quite some fun, and I'm hoping I'll be able to use them and have some fun with them as well. And this is a nice way to go about it, I suppose, also. I also got the new release of Oxide inks, Distress Oxide inks. I have put in a label around all of the, the complete ink pad like so it's easy for me to find them in my box. Some people have told me that, Sara, you really ought to store them like this, just so the inks don't start to bleed. And I can understand that. Perhaps these are particular ink pads that I have to be wary with. But on the other hand, I have had them standing, let's say half a year now, like this, and nothing has happened. So I think I'll just continue with that until I see that the ink is starting to leak. Then of course I'll have to adjust accordingly. And here I have some Nouveau embellishment mousse, and this one adds metallic dimensional details to your craft project. So you could actually use it with a spatula, perhaps through a stencil. Have some fun with that. You could just rub it around with your finger, I suppose, or you could just dry brush it on with a dry brush and just have some fun enhancing some of the texture on your crafting projects. Talking about stencils, I got myself some stencils from Nellie Snellen, and it's Nellie's, that the brand is called there. It's a mixed media stencil, and this one is called Arrows. Some might call it Chevron. This one is called Pattern 4, and I really don't have a name for this. Perhaps some of you out there do have a name for it. I would love to have a name for this. I don't know what I could call this. This one is called Snowflakes, and these are big A5 sized stencils, so they are nice to work with. And this one is called Stars, but in my book this sort of looks like a wintry sweater knitted pattern some sort. So there we are. That's just my opinion. You know what, I finally found the packing or this one for the monsters. I'd lost track of that one. So these are called Silly Monsters, and the number is 662374. It's from Sizzix. I'll put that one up there. I've got myself some sort of rugged snowflakes or distressed snowflakes from Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. Weathered Winter, they are called, CMS 245. I've also got some block lower cling foam stamps from Tim Holtz, and this is what they look like. And there's a backing to it like so, and then you can just pick up your letter. It has got something to cling on to your block, and even the storage panel there. And I got another stencil from Dutch Doobadoo, and this one is called Art Triangle. This is also A5 size, even though you don't think it can't be A5. I mean, it's a different way of measuring A5, if that is A5 and that is A5. So it's a no-go from me. And here I've got some Halloween words. I haven't actually used these yet, so let's see if I can open it up. Because I was sort of bewildered by the size, but perhaps it is correct. I was thinking that they were too small, but they weren't. They are actually all right. So it's a correct size to this. So Wicked and Boo and Fright, and I love the combination of those letters, the F and the R and the G and the H and T. Really beautiful word. I mean, the D is beautiful as well. So it's a really nice set of beautiful words, I must say, or letters. Let's see if I can put it in there so I know where it is. So, and what else have I got here? I do have an embossing folder from Amy Design. Amy Design, you can find it there, Amy Design. And this is the one with the pine trees and the reindeer and some snow. And this is a rather small one, but I hope you can see the pattern there. And I'm thinking this is going to be really nice to cover in, let's say with just blue, and add on some stickles and such, and just have some fun with it. I've also got some new stamps and things that I haven't gotten to have the time to use yet. I have some stamps from Nellie Snellen, and these are flowers, and it's called Flow 010, and it's a beautiful reindeer there, and this it's called CT 020, and then there is a beautiful set of pine trees there, CSIL 004. And then there are some pattern stamps from CreaLies. Let's see, it's the 93, 94 and 95, a honeycomb, brick wall and brick wall, and CLBP 93, 94, 95. And then I've got the birds in the sky, a small and a bigger one, CLBP 93, no, 91 and 92, excuse me for that. Dark room door, it's a mini calendar, and I'm thinking you could use this for a congrats card or something similar, just marking the day and the month for that particular person that you're going to send the card to. Here are some beautiful splotches and splatters. Water drops, Splash, and CraftEmotions is the company. And then I have some clippings stickers from Tim Holtz, and these are with a Halloween theme. A lot of beautiful quotes there, so I'm hoping I'll be having some lots of fun. And I just shrieked when I saw this one yesterday. I mean, this was really beautiful. Just look at that white cobweb there. And this is also something that I haven't had the chance to use yet. It's a set of 2 border dies from Sizzix, and they are called Cityscape Skyline. And some long fasteners, because sometimes I have so thick materials that I need to have something longer to pierce through with them. So let's see if I could just move these things around and just show you what I was promising you just in the beginning of this video. Let's see if I can make this work without the cord giving me a hard time. I suppose I would have to take it from there. I could just move that one there. I'm just going to take a piece of paper that I have prepared since before. And here is the electric Sizzix Big Shot. And I believe it was called Express or something. You know what, I think I have turned it over, so it's Big Shot Express, there you have it. But since I find it easier to work with the cord going that way and the button there, that's why I have turned it over. So now I have actually remembered how come it got lost. So in this case I'll be using a thick die, a big die from Tim Holtz and Sizzix. It's in the alterations line, and it's also in the on the edge category. And this one is called Townscape. And the end result will be this. You will be will end up with a townscape thing at the top of your card. And I've got a cutting plate at the bottom. Sometimes it's nice to have these in color, because if you have them like this and you have a white surface or something and lots of white papers, I mean, this one tends to get lost, doesn't it? What I've done with this one, because I have found out that even though these are big stars and they're supposed to be able to cut through thicker materials, I find that sometimes they do need a little bit of extra pressure. So I actually glued this one on, and I put some arrows there just to know that I'm going to put the die in this direction, so I don't have to think about that anymore. And what I'm going to be doing now is that I've got a really long paper. This might be A3 sized or something, because it's rather long. And this is something that I have left over from another project, so I'm just going to make use of that one, aren't I? I'll be putting, with the long bit, the outsticking bit there, I'll be putting it in like so, and I'll be putting the arrows like so. And I'll be looking at it just to make sure that I have sort of an equal amount of paper on both sides of this die, and I'm also placing it straight like so. So what I need to think about now is make sure that I've got this cutting plate or pad and line them up so I can actually get them into the machine at the same time. I'm going to move it and I'm going to squish it, move it like so. And in order to make this machine operate, I need to push it that way if I wanted to go forwards, and in this way if I wanted to go backwards. So it's easy peasy really. And it will only move when I am pushing the button. So if I'm not pushing, it's not going to move now, is it? It's going to make a little bit of noise, but it's a signal of it working actually. So let's go. So now I actually experienced that it was a bit tough for it to go through with that extra layer of paper, but I'm hoping I'll be getting that nice beautiful die cut there. Let's see, I will continue now. So there we have it. And you know, I just started using this machine yesterday and I'm over the moon how easy I find it to use. I mean, I never thought that I would like to have a machine with the button there, because I have tried a couple of electric machines I have, and I really like the, what was it called now, Embosser, because it actually went through. I just had to push the button once and it went through. But I still thought that it was going, well, you know, I just got tired of it. So I decided on getting this one just to see how it works, and I really like it. I really like it, I must say. It's easy to work. I mean, I don't have to crank the handle and everything. So there we are. So what I have here is that I have taken away the confetti from this one. So I'm ending up with this. Let's see if I can just move these a little bit to the side, and I'll be taking something from the top here. And what I'll do now is that I'll take a scoring board, or score pal, this one is called. And if I'm going to look at it like this, I'm going to put it in the corner there. I see that I have sort of up to 6 inches there, so I'm thinking 3 inches would be nice to do a scoring at. So I'm just going to turn it over and score at 3. And then I'm going to fold it like so, and then I'm going to crease it with my bone folder like so. What I'll do now, of course, is move this one aside, and I'll be taking another piece. I've got a guillotine from Tim Holtz and Tonic Studios. This one is a little bit smaller, so this is good. It's an excellent guillotine or cutting machine for smaller projects, smaller papers and such. So in this case, I'm just going to line it up to where the guillotine is going to go, and I'm going to cut off the excess like so. And this one cuts beautifully, I must say. I just wish it was bigger because I do like this. It's lightweight, and it has got both the centimeters and the inches. I mean, it just thumbs up for this one. So here we are with this. So in order to finish this one off, imagine this one being a bigger piece of paper. I would glue it down here, but I would need 2 pieces of this kind of paper because I would need to glue it on almost to the complete size. I would have to put some glue here, 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 and here. So I do have an opening for the flap, so I can make the card stand on its own. And if I'm doing so, I'm able to put the flap in there and just decide, sort of making it in the center, tilting it over. Let's see if I can show you. I'm not going to do this because I haven't got a complete plan now, but let's say that this is going to be my front page and it's a double one, and I have the glue all over there, but with the exception of actually leaving a gap there. So if I'm going to put it there, I could, if I wanted to, put this sort of tab in here and just decide on, okay, it's going to go there when the card is closed, and then I could put some glue on the back side of that one and just glue it down and have some fun. And it's really nice to be able to send away these cards flat and without having the recipient having to fiddle. I mean, how am I going to do this? It's really nice to actually just let them open and let it stand on its own. So that's where we are with those upright Z-fold cards. And I have used a stamp here from Joy Crafts. I think it was Vintage Homes or Houses. It's a set of 4 stamps, and this one says something about being at home. And it's an old stamp from Paper Maze. It's a Swedish company, and I'm not sure that one can find this beautiful stamp anymore. I'm sorry to say that. So here we are with this one, and before I leave you, what I also did with this one was I actually stamped the image once more on a printing paper, cut it out, sprayed some remount spray on it in order to make it a mask, put it on top here, and then I just brushed some Distress Oxide ink around the house, so it will have something else going on there. So I needn't bother with colouring the house actually. I'm just going to give it as white as I can, but just a little bit of pop of black, oh I'm sorry, blue and brown. So that's where I'm right now. I hope to be able to come back soon with something else. I mean, I do have, for goodness sake, you know what? I have forgotten to show you the Halloween stamps. Where are they? I know there was something. I knew there was something. You know what? Since I did categorize my Halloween stamps in just one box, this is something that I got from Tim Holtz. I mean, I'm hoping you can see them sort of properly. Monstrous. I mean, really monstrous. CMS 307. Monstrous. some witches, and I love these texts. Here is something else from Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz collection, of course. Haunted House, CMS 308. A beautiful house and everything. And they are made to be able to create a scene with. And I love that Happy Halloween text there. Then I've got myself some ravens, CMS 310. A big splotch and some ravens there. Skulls and Cobwebs, CMS 306. A beautiful damask stamp there. And that cobweb, it's going to be lovely if I'm going to do some white embossing with powder and such. Scared Silly, CMS 311. And these are rather funky, I must say. Fun looking stamps and texts. And why not, let me just show you what I have got since before. This is something spooky stuff, CMS 068. So this is a really early set of stamps. Love that. Happy Halloween there. And the splotch and everything, so it's a nice set. Here is something else, Trick or Treat, CMS 050. And there's a skeleton there, and some barbed wire, I suppose, and some cobwebs there. Here is something else, Retro Halloween, CMS 092, with a skeleton and a cat and a witch and so forth. And here is something, those are in a sort of a mini series, Mini Halloween 2, CMS 113. Here is something else, Regions Beyond, CMS 274, and the house is beautiful, wonderful text stamps there, and an owl on books. And then I've got lots of stamps, but I can't really take them into this film. So I'm sorry about those Halloween stamps coming so late, but better late than never, I suppose. Bye bye.